Oh Lord. Oh. Got us a new little jazzy intro.
Getting us something soulful.
Feel like I'm supposed to have my polo button up to the top when I hear this.
This Kodak Black.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This day party-ish.
And I like this song actually.
What's the name of this song?
Patty Cake.
Patty Cake.
And I'm so conflicted because I don't like Kodak Black.
Ooh.
I haven't played this in the maximum yet. Supposed to spin, know that. Hey.
Be on the Kodak.
Right.
Be on the Kodak.
Look, okay, that's Kodak Black, Patty Cake. Man, you know, I'm gonna start this episode with this, right? We introduced a new feature to the No Foreplay Show website. Y'all have to check it out.
Yes.
So what we have on this is the playlist page.
Cool.
And it is playlists from all of us, Spotify playlists. Don't get mad at us because Apple Music is not letting you embed their playlist. Apple they want to. Mm-hmm. That's cool. But we got the Spotify playlist. Spotify, you can get a Spotify account for free still.
Yes.
We have the No Foreplay playlist where we have a dope playlist with all of our songs that we ever start off episodes to.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be on there. We got about that playlist. Seeing as though we about 90 episodes.
Yeah,
in.
that playlist is lasts for 3 days.
Yeah, that playlist is about 3 days of music.
I got a quick tip. If you're listening to any fresh playlists, the neck kissing playlist, I need you to go to your settings, and it should have gapless playback. Change that to 12 seconds, so all the songs blend in together, so you won't miss a beat, fellas.
Wow.
Tell them Fresh sent you.
Okay, so Fresh has playlists on it and has playlists. I have playlists. We got the No Foreplay playlist. We gonna collaborate on some playlists.
Yes.
I got a tip too. It's the next level of Fresh. There's an app, a free app called Pacemaker.
Yeah.
Pacemaker.
I got it on there.
It mixes all your joints together automatically based on the beats and the song.
Yeah, I said let you know what song should come on next.
You'll win with Pacemaker. You'll win. we all about getting y'all easy wins, man.
That's it. Layup drills.
Quick question.
Yeah.
What's the percentage of people you still think making love to playlists?
Well, you know what's interesting. You say that to me. No. Unfortunately, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So Spotify, I think they said streaming. The rate is 50% of people who listen to music via streaming service listen to that music via playlist. Mm-hmm. So imagine that number. Like that's a crazy amount. So half people not looking up their favorite artists, they looking for playlists.
That's true.
So I'm guessing it must be pretty high. Even if they the ones that the company do or something like that Apple Music make or Spotify make.
Yeah, because I think there's only 3 things off the top of my head that makes you like just want to find a playlist just to zone out. Work, working out, and working someone out.
Mm-hmm. True indeed. All work.
Well, listen, if you go to the No Foreplay playlist page, Fresh does have neck kissing.
Yes.
And has a playlist.
The Late Show.
The Late Show.
Yes.
I thought it was. He has the Late Show. He has the Late Show.
The Late Show. Yes.
I have a playlist called Ride Me Backwards.
Cold.
It's 31 songs.
Yes.
31. Hey, fellas, don't be out here trying to do nothing for 31 songs, y'all. We got other stuff to do with our time in life.
Wait a minute.
Pick a good 5 songs and live life.
Hold on. Okay. So yeah, just live life. Just live life. There's also Fresh also has a playlist. I'm not gonna say the title of this playlist on this episode, but it's full of Prince songs.
Yes.
So it's classics. Classics. Like I said, just go on there.
And Dion's gonna make us update it continuously. He's gonna be on our ass on this.
We gonna have some guest playlists too.
Oh yeah.
I already tapped some people because I want, if you come on the episode, you got a playlist, I want your playlist on the page.
Yeah.
And before we go any further,
yes,
our guest is looking at us like
he's been looking at us like we lost our damn mind. We just started.
Can you please introduce the people to our guest?
Yes, our esteemed guest. I like to call all our guests esteemed, even though they may be not shit. But you know,
he esteemed.
He's esteemed. He's esteemed for real, like for real. We go back all the way back to bus number 5 at Beasley. Now he is see, so many accolades to put to him, but I just like to call him Corey.
True.
Well, we have the great Corey Mays, former NFL player, and now current angel investor, businessman, and gentleman extraordinaire, if you will. You can put that on your obituary if you like.
Damn. Don't talk about obituary.
And as always,
what's going on, fellas? It's good to be over here on the West Side. Hopefully, I have more accomplishments than that. You know, to go on the obituary one day. God willing.
You know what?
God willing.
Listen. Okay, so we do like that introduction.
Yes.
And so here's the thing. Corey Mays, and I remember I met Corey via Ant in a club. We was at Light one day. We was all in our glow at Light. And I was looking around, and I was like, man, we was having a good night. He's like, that's my man Corey. And, you know, he introduced me to him, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then he was like, Corey should be on the show. So, you know me, I'm looking up Corey, and I'm like, oh, okay. So I look him up. I seen that Corey definitely NFL linebacker, Notre Dame. And at first, if you would have been talking to me this time last year, it would have been before I went to Notre Dame. I went to Notre Dame for a tour, and I was just like, this is something different. Like, it feel like a special
It's amazing.
place.
I feel like they pump the Kool-Aid right into the air. So
They do.
And that was Deion's experience.
Yeah, they took me there, and they was like, that's touchdown Jesus. And I was like, and I looked, and I was like, yo, it really, like, it makes you feel like that's touchdown Jesus right there.
And the funny part, Deion is like so skeptical about most shit. So when he like came back, was like, yo, like, for real. And I'm like, is he serious? Like, all play like Notre Dame? I thought he was gonna come back to downplay. I'm like, play Notre Dame.
You know what I'm saying? I'm Michigan crazy.
Right. But he like was like
nah,
legit and like
special
impressed.
place.
Yeah.
This is a special
He had to
place.
sit us down and talk to us about the Notre Dame experience. You would think
By the fireplace.
Right, you would think he was the Mecca. So I'm like, sit down, fellas. I have to tell you about my pilgrimage.
Listen, I'm not even gonna lie to you.
have you taken these other two gentlemen with you yet?
I have not. We should go.
We should go
one day.
We should go.
I'm down for a trip to South Bend.
Ooh, a
We
game.
should
What if
go.
we go to a game?
We should go because
I'll go to a
Notre
game.
Dame is still recruiting my younger cousin to play girls basketball.
Yeah.
and you know, it's so funny because now the competition's heating up. But I as much as she like still loves Skylar Diggins, I still think she leaning that way. So it's like other people come in like Harvard and stuff like that, but she's still leaning towards Notre Dame. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want her to go there just because like I went there, I went in there.
I mean, why wouldn't you? You can always go down there and check her out.
Right,
you know?
right. It's real close.
And
It's real
plus, you know, she's gonna win.
Unless they play UConn.
That was just hey.
I mean, my bad.
You know what?
That's
I'm sorry.
true.
Facts are facts. I'm sorry though.
I feel you.
And then we had the young man on our podcast that he said Notre Dame was
Dame's
recruiting him.
recruiting him.
Yeah,
Man, y'all
football
built the same
game.
exact
Right.
way. You would think that was your nephew or something.
The crazy part is that he's a tad bit larger, and I was like,
Yeah.
and he's like a big 17-year-old, and I was looking at him like, dang, like I'm not used to like the 17-year-old like dwarfing us.
And he was
like,
polished, a polished 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Well spoken and
Like he
everything.
could be reviewing our resume, 17-year-old. Like he was that polished.
Right. But so I'm looking and I'm looking you up, and I'm like, okay. And I come across, I'm like, so this dude, he's left the game. And the thing is, everybody leaves the game, right? In all aspects of life, you hit a point, you transition out of it, and a lot of times people may not know what to do, and that applies to all of us. Some people, they retire and they just like, dang, what's next? And you transition into business, and I was just kind of reading your perspective, like, and it was very real. Like you were saying, like it wasn't seamless, like but you worked at it, and I think that's incredible. But we gonna get to that a little later. We're gonna get to that a little later. We're not gonna put you on the spot on that. But you played for some good organizations. Tell the people where you played.
And you can shout out your high school too, even though we
Man, listen to me.
Talking about the Morgan Park High School.
Hold on.
Anyway,
We don't beef with Morgan Park.
You know we cool.
We
Shout out
do.
to T-shirt Hirsch.
We did.
Oh, Curie?
Yeah, we did. But and that's crazy.
Look how he look at
Yeah, he look over, and it's crazy though, because like I'm looking back and like I hear all the NFL Notre Dame, but that'll always be Corey Mays from Morgan Park. You know what I mean? Like, Joe, they got Mays over there, Joe. Like, hey man, they got a linebacker named Mays. I remember they're like, what? Yeah, he the real deal. Yeah, my guys, they used to always talk about. We had some decent running back.
That's funny though, because I remember when he was like really like coming up in public league, and they was like, yeah, Corey Mays. So I'm like, this name sounds so familiar. I'm like, nah, that's not the dude that rode the bus with us. And like, bullshit, I don't know where I don't know. I saw you at the Plaza. Me and Chris was together, and I was like, was that fucking Corey? He's like, yeah, dog, that motherfucker be kicking ass in football.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I was working at the Plaza. I was Miss Snack.
Yes.
Nachos and ices.
Yes.
$5.15 an hour. So I knew I had to get up out of Chicago. I said, I can't do this, man. I need this education.
Yeah. So in high school, like, who was there any player that you looked at like, man, this dude is like where I want to be, like coming, like when you were coming up in high school, not like your senior year, nothing like that.
You talking about guys that were still in high school? Or you talking about guys
like who was your toughest competition when you were in high school?
Toughest competition. There's so many guys that we played against. I mean, and many of those guys I didn't know their names, coming up. But that's a hard one as far as saying for high school. But I think a lot of the guys that were older than me while I was there at Morgan Park, they were my motivation. Mm-hmm. Seeing them get recruited, seeing them, have that vision and that plan and that goal to go to college, and for me, that was everything.
Right. I just asked that because I know, going to Curie, everybody like hated Calvin Hayden. Like that was everybody rival. Like, hey, we got to beat Hayden. I don't care if we go 0-13 this year. We got to beat Hubbard.
He was legit, man.
No, Hayden was legit. Hey, Hayden. I think Hayden did everything. I think he did kickoff. I'm talking about kick the ball off.
Well, that's Chicago Public League. You got to do everything.
Everything. That's true.
You got to play in the game. You got to announce the game.
All that.
You got.
I'm telling you. Hey,
you got to lay down the turf, man. That's everything.
People who come from Chicago playing football, you know how we always talk about basketball. You know who's a pro. Yeah. You can see that in football. Like when we went against Carver. And Jason Devon caught a punt, and he was already at like full speed when he caught it. I'm like, man, what the Carver probably didn't win not one game, but they had a shining star. They had a beacon of light.
Playing football in Chicago is always interesting because I remember going, I think one of my first trips to Cali, and in a park, they had little boys, they looked like about 5 or 6, and they had them practicing 3-5 step drops. And I was looking like, I've never seen this in Chicago. I've never seen kids that young training to be quarterbacks. And I was just looking like, this is just a totally different place I'm in. And you look at, I think public league football is funny because when you see like somebody in public league football that's like good,
it stands out so much.
You looking like, yo, like who is that guy?
It stands out so much.
Quarterbacking one really ever.
Yeah, they get like the dude who can play killer man the best to be quarterback.
Yeah, like high school football, it was always about the run game. Like it could be 3rd and 12, and we'll call like
what a lot of it is. A lot of it is too was Chicago's a basketball city.
Yeah.
So like you always compete when you're trying to get other athletes. You're competing with basketball. You got a lot of guys who will be excellent in football. Like you're not gonna go anywhere at 5'10".
Yeah,
You're not going anywhere. So that's your biggest competition.
Yeah. So, tell us about like Notre Dame. Like, how does that feel? Because I know, like, well, first off, I played some Catholic football young. So the first thing they drill in your head is like the Notre Dame. They're like, you play here, you go to one of the Catholic high schools, and then your goal is Notre Dame. Like that was like it. Like they were like, that's the goal. How did it feel to go to Notre Dame, play, be like great? How did that feel?
You know what? You really don't. For me, you really don't understand the experience until you're gone. Because while you're there, you get into it. You're in class, you're practicing. You got the games. A lot of your day is tied up in athletics and academics. So you can't really see, like you said, when you went on campus, how special it really is. And for me, that was the defining moment once I graduated and stepped away to really see how special things were and how much of it was of a privilege for me to be put in that position. Because, you know, I could have not been born with the talent to play or not, you know, put the effort in academically. So I didn't have to be there, you know.
Right.
It's a blessing to be there. So for me, just knowing all the tradition and everything else that comes with it, it's something that you kind of take to heart with. Now, everything's not perfect, but at the end of the day, it's something that I can hang my head on.
Right, definitely.
Had a quick follow-up question to that. How hard is it to be a student athlete? Like, I think like people kind of guess. People like, especially when we talk about like should they pay athletes or anything? Not even getting into that, but like, I don't think people really understand how hard it is to be like a student athlete.
No, people have no idea. They think it's, you know, you show up for the game, you run out in front of 80,000 people, and it's all good. But I mean, there's the all seasons. I mean, my freshman year, I remember waking up at like 5 a.m, right? And you got to go work out before class. And the way my schedule was, I had like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like 3 classes in a row. So you got to go work out, 3 classes in a row. And between the last class and my first meeting for football was 15 minutes. So, you know, you got meetings for another 2.5 hours. And then you got, about 2 hours. And then you practice 2.5 hours. Then we had to hurry up and get dinner and then get to study hall. And then, you know, you probably got to do some more studying after that. And then the alarm's going off again in the morning. You know, like it's not, like people say, like, oh, it's free. You're going to school for free. You're not going to school for free.
Man, please make that point. Please make that point.
It's quid pro quo. You are doing something. You are working in order to receive that scholarship. So, I mean, it's a full-time job. And you don't have time to get another job, you know, if you needed extra cash. So, yeah, it's a full-time deal.
You heard the schedule. You can't even fit women in that.
Hey,
glory to God.
Hey, because you know me, I was, Jack, study hall. Study hall gonna have to get cut in half, Jack.
Yeah, there's a lot of days you're jealous. You walking to practice and people are, you know, out there playing frisbee and
just
living a
real college life,
having a picnic. You're like, oh.
And you know what's funny? They looking at you like they envy you, and you looking like, man, if you just knew the half.
Can I get 20% of your free time?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And it's crazy. I don't know why I keep bringing this up because I ain't never went nowhere else. But, you know, in high school, I remember coming to orientation, freshman orientation. They're like, you want to play football? I'm like, yeah. They're like, okay, we start practice tomorrow. We got 2 a day. No, I don't want to play football. Like, Joe, the whole summer's gone. Like, 2 a days in the summer in the heat. I'm like, nah, Joe, this too much. So I can just imagine it going up a level in college. Like,
oh man, it's a grown man.
Exactly.
And you're on scholarship, so people they are gunning.
Yes.
You know, so it's real. It's real, buddy. I don't know what you heard out there, but it's real out.
Yeah, I had a friend play at Purdue, and he got war stories about the same way. Like, hey, man, like...
Yeah,
Boo Purdue. I don't know why you brought that up, my friend.
Shout out to Twan.
Let's go, Twan. I know Twan.
Yeah, we gonna listen to this episode. They gonna like, oh man, you wanna know that.
The funny part is if you talk to, I think the interesting part about what you brought up, if you talk to people who had a college athletic experience where they were there, they won scholarship, and they played like, you know, I don't want to say a demanding sport because essentially every sport at that level, man, you have to put the work in. Like, not everyone, but you got to put the work in. Like, if you talk to people who play, like, college basketball, like, Division I program, man, the stuff they tell you be sitting there like, and you expected to do all this, and people make those lies up. Oh, well, they just pass you through. Anybody who's ever been to college and seen them professors, they are not. Listen, they're not going. Man.
No.
They're not going.
I don't even know how you play basketball in college. Like, you travel,
yes.
You have games on weird days of the week. Like, like March Madness. How do you even you're gone like the whole month?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's the truth too. Real road games.
He's right. Like, the whole month, because like especially
you live somewhere else.
If you had a major program, you got the conference tourney.
Yeah. And if you had a good school, right, y'all go be winning and moving around.
Yeah. Okay. So man, you make it to the NFL. Was your first team the Patriots?
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. I'm just saying. I got a friend who's a Patriots diehard, and the Patriots to me are one of the organizations that, like in the NBA, they're like the Spurs.
Celtics.
They're that team. You look at it, and you like
the gold standard.
Right? Yeah. You look at it like, man, like, how was that being like your first team? Like,
you know what? It was truly a blessing because it really set me up to be around veterans who were mature, who knew how to be professionals. First of all, so who could teach me how to come in, how to study film, how to work out, how to treat your body, how to do the finances, how to handle yourself outside of the building. You know, when you leave practice and you're out in the world. You know, so for me, it was truly what I needed. You know, in those first steps leaving college and becoming a man. I mean, first day, you know, Bill Belichick, he's like, you're a rookie, you know, you don't know anything, so don't say anything. And that's the clean version. But, shout out to Bill.
Right.
But, you know, like the amount of discipline that was there and the amount of guys putting that team effort in. And, I mean, it's just crazy, you know, to be in that environment.
Wow, just being around Tom Brady. Yeah,
I remember like the first one of the practices with the vets, and like I'm in, and he comes up, is quarterback, and I'm like, that's Tom Brady. But I'm like, I told myself, I gave myself a 2-second quick talk, Corey, you don't have time to be starstruck. You got to win a job. So it was at that point like, you got to turn it on because you're here today and gone tomorrow. It's not like college. It's not a scholarship. We're not waiting on you to develop. There's so many guys we can sign right now. Like you go in a GM's office and like from the top of the ceiling to the bottom of the floor, their names like on the wall all around the room. So you have to realize how competitive this is.
Right.
You know?
I got a question and I guess about the Patriots. How do you feel in professional sports, a team having a leader like Bill Belichick at essentially the top? How do you feel that trickles down?
Well, a great thing about going into that organization was the locker room policed everything. You know, you didn't have the coach coming after people, you know, trying to call you out for stuff. I mean, he's going to be a head coach. He has to do what he has to do. But for the most part, the players took care of the locker room. And that's the way it should be. Right. You know, you should get your rookies right when they come in. They should know the expectations. You know, when free agents come in, you know, they should know the culture. And, you know, that's, you know, a hard thing to do, a hard thing to build. You know, like I'm getting my MBA right now. And so these leadership and decision-making classes and management classes I have, it's you know, I think back to that. Like, how do you build a culture? How do you, and then, you know, speaking to that, my second year, Monday I was a Patriot, Wednesday I was a Bengal. And, you know, it just spoke to different cultures across teams. You think every team is the same, but it's not, you know, and it's, you know, there's a lot of great people in that organization, Bengals organization. Go Bengals. But, you know, it's just a different change of pace really, really quick. Yeah. You know, you got to imagine within 48 hours, you're in a new city. You got to learn new coaches, new teammates, new medical staff, new weight training staff, new equipment people staff. Like it's, but luckily I had that professionalism given to me that I know I got to be the first one there and the last one to leave every day. Otherwise, you know, you go lost.
And that's dope that you was able to make that transition in 2 days. You know, considering some players, you know, if you're a really good player, 9 times out of 10 you're coming out of a good program in college and going to a bad, you know, organization. You know, you're probably getting drafted. The team was probably 2-14 the year before, and a lot of guys say, man, guys lose and be okay with it, and you coming from a place where you probably lost twice in your whole college career. You know what I mean? They say, I'm just not used to that. You know, they said,
and then you jump straight to the Patriots where like the standard is the standard, no matter what.
Standard,
it's different, man. It's a different mentality, and I think it's, you know, it's just for you as an individual, you always have to go in and making sure you're protecting your brand and making sure that you've worked so long to get there. You know, you can't throw it away in a second just because you have lapses of judgment. You know, and you're still learning how to be a man. You know, you're still essentially, like, I look at it now, I'm like, if you're 21, 22, man, you're still a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
In my mind now, I'm like, you're an adult, but you should know better about a lot of things. But there's stuff like you're gonna mess up. You know, you're not. You don't know everything yet.
Life ain't really slapped you yet. Like, I mean, life slaps some people very hard at young ages, but like, you ain't get that adult slap from life yet at 22. Like, you don't know everything.
And that's the scary thing now. I'm thinking, like, as much as I've been through all the hard, dark times I've been through, I haven't even been through the hardest part of my life yet.
Right.
And that's crazy to me at this point.
Yeah. I think what's something that you said that I can kind of apply. Like, I think what I'll count as my first real job, I ended up going to Blue Cross Blue Shield, and it was interesting. I had a boss who was a cool boss. However, I looked up and it was like a group of black men who were there, who definitely like kind of snatched me up, like took me under their wing. I didn't work in their departments or anything like that, but they were kind of like just showing me different things, and it was all really by example and just talking to me and just saying like, hey, you know, this is how we do stuff. So the kind of stuff that they had me doing, the stuff they showed me, the precedent they set, just had me on the right path. So it was interesting because even when I left, you know, they took me out for, you know, a great business lunch, and by that time I was already like at work. I was dressing like better than I should dress, like, you know what I'm saying? And then when I went to my new company, you know, in my 48-hour turnaround, when I went to my new company, I was still acting like I was a Patriot. And I was working for the Bengals, and it was just different. Like, people was looking at me like, why is he dressed up? Like, you know, why is he so professional? And I'm like, this is the way that I was. Like, this is my personal brand. So it was so interesting, and I was so thankful for that. Like, later, and even to this day, like, I'm like, yo, like, these guys put me on the right path.
Man, that's a blessing, because my experience, it was total opposite.
No, it wasn't. Anthony was like full suited in elementary school. We used to get on the bus, and he used to have a stopwatch and say, "Let's time to see how fast we can finish our homework."
I hate course.
That didn't happen. Let me stop, because he has plenty of incriminating stories on me. So I'm just gonna.
My first job out of college was the county, working 50 West Washington.
Ooh. And janitor?
Yeah, real life. Shut up, man. That was like, honestly, that was like the adult version of high school. Like, you know, if you ever been up to the Daily Center and get some business handled, and you get like the smart ass lady at the counter, like, that's like damn near every floor. And like, you know, nobody dressed up. Like, we supposed to start work at 8:30, but 8:30 to me was just make sure I signed in, go get a Pepsi and a newspaper, read it. Maybe about 9:15 I start working. And then when I finally went to the my second job, the accounting firm, after that, I was still doing those bad habits like the first 2 days. And then, like, you know, thankfully one of the managers pulled me to the side. She was like, yo, like 8:30 means 8:30, not get a Pepsi and a newspaper. So I had to like straighten up real quick. Man, like, for real.
They ain't give you no tips on your wardrobe? I'm just asking. You know, I'm trying to make sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
As you know, like, I can dress for work very well. Like, now, I understand.
Wait, huh?
I can dress for work very well.
Who told you this?
Your favorite girl.
Oh, no. You still dance like you was a backup singer for Soul for Real.
That playlist. That's playlist.
That's still wear cufflinks to work, man.
Have you ever put cufflinks on ever?
Never.
West side will still be west side.
Prom.
Right, exactly.
Prom. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with cufflinks, man. Hey, set the tone.
West side is be west side.
Hey. Don't let your man cape for you. I mean, I know you're a little bigger than me. You know what I mean?
I had my biz on my own.
All right, man. Come on, man. You go these bees, man. Shout out to Derrick Rose.
Hey, listen. West side is still wearing the Cameron earring.
Right.
Hey, and I hate. Hey, listen, man.
What are those big old 8x8, 12x12.
Listen to me, bro.
They get them cut at Home Depot.
Yeah,
What do you
y'all gotta know I don't cape for the West Siders West Siding. When they wear them big earrings that they got from Pierce and Pagoda, I go crazy. Like, no, man, that's not a sign of wealth. Do not wear them earrings looking like chandeliers, thinking that's a sign of wealth. I'm not looking at you saying you made it, my brother.
Those like the pendants that like the grandmothers either wear on their hat.
Yeah,
like
man, brooch.
Like,
they wearing brooches.
They buy those at the same place they get their Astro Van accessories.
Okay, look. Not too much. I let the earring joke slide.
That is Chicago culture.
I let the earring joke slide.
Well, Astro Vans is where we cross the line.
Now, we ain't gonna say nothing when y'all be putting choppers on Range Rovers. Hey, we know that's y'all favorite rim out south. G.
I wish they get that up too. I ain't gonna lie.
Unfortunately, I've seen that.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it makes me upset.
It makes my stomach turn.
Like, who let you do that?
I don't even know they still sold those.
Right.
Let alone
if
on
your
the Range
rim
Rover.
looks like the letter Y, give it up.
No. Here's the thing.
Give it up. PSA to the South.
Listen,
the rim that you can put on the Cutlass Supreme
should not
be the same rim you put on the Range Rover.
When will we address these Pele jackets that are still getting manufactured?
Hey, not too much. First of all, Pele's is to the West Side what Vice Lord Burgers is to the West Side. You can never give up double cheeseburgers with gyro meat. You can never give up Pele's. I got guys right now like waiting for the winter collection of Pele's. Now, I can't knock them. It's good leather. It's good leather. We might
wait, hold on. It's good leather.
We might have tarnished the brand a little bit, but hey,
let me
define a little bit.
Let me show you good leather, and then you come back and tell me that that's good leather.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, death to rhinestones on the back of the pants. Y'all can wear Pele's. I never tell my West Sideers not to wear Pele's, but no more rhinestones on the back of the pants, bro.
Okay, we got to get back on track.
Yeah, we just went Chicago real fast. I'm sorry,
South side
y'all.
is going South side, and
West Side is going West Side.
It's
Two different cities, baby.
Yeah, and you know what? North side is going North side.
Yeah. Shout out to the North Side Coalition.
Yeah.
All those ladies from different races.
And over East is going over East.
Hey,
man.
Hey.
What Fresh say? Over East is what? One big
Corway building, baby. No parking in one big Corway building. You better have your favorite auntie drop you off and pick you up because they know where to park the Maxima, baby.
Okay. So we got those organizations. I do got a question, man. And I was reading an article on you, and it talked about, man. My question is, how did your body feel playing the game? Because you see a lot. Like, man, I kid you not. Every year, I'm watching Hard Knocks like it is like the Bible. Like Hard Knocks, you see these shows, and I remember even James Harrison was on one. And the stuff he was going through, I was like, yo, this, first off, James Harrison, this next level
training.
Next level.
And I was like, yo, like, the care that he was talking about and the, even the amount of money he invested in his body is just otherworldly. Like, I want to say, how did that, like, affect your body just playing the game? How did that
I mean, you think about it, man, they're like many car crashes, when you're hitting, and it's not just a game, it's practice. Because, you're doing thud drills, you're doing all these drills, or, you're actually practicing and wrapping up and hitting people. So it takes its toll on your body, and you have to be, that goes back to being a professional and taking care of yourself and making sure you're getting massages and eating right and, and strength training, the way you train. So it all goes into it. But yeah, man, NFL is not for long for a reason. You never know. Man, you could have a 12-year career, 20-year career. Well, not too many people have a 20-year career.
Kickers.
Yeah, probably quarterbacks. But other than that, man, you just never know when your last blow is your last blow,
Right.
So you just have to make sure you take care of yourself. At the end of the day, if an injury happens, it happens, but it's not because you don't want to live with regret saying, man, if I had just done this, if I had just done that, I'd have been good,
I know that's why, to me, like, I'm always happy to see guys in the NFL give it like that other shot. Because a lot of times you see people get hurt and they be like, oh, like he's finished. Like, you know, and I really don't care personally how they perform afterwards. Like when Victor Cruz got hurt, his injury, they were like, oh, you know, guys don't bounce back. And I'm sitting there like, you know, when he got back out there, I'm like, I'm just happy to see him out there. You know what I mean? And you know, to me, that just means like a lot to me. Like you see guys go at it, give it again, and they don't let the injury, like, you know, end their career. And I think that's like one of the greatest things I like about football.
Yeah, I mean, it's the mentality to fight back. I mean, it's your internal drive every day of being motivated, you know, and when you can bounce back, it's great. But psychologically, it does something to you when you're not 100%. You know, there's one thing to play with an injury, but it's one thing to not be to not feel like the same person, you know, you once were, you know.
That's me and my ankle. That's why I ain't playing.
Oh man, come on, man.
It's a real injury.
Come on, man.
Bro. It's a real injury, bro.
Come on, man.
He got a self-diagnosed high ankle sprain
for 2.5 years.
Hey, I still have scar tissue around my ankle. They say it's like a wad of gum, bro.
You know what, you can get that massaged out, though. You know?
I know, I've been trying, bro. I did physical therapy.
No, not by yourself.
No, not by myself. They had a little shark-looking thing they were trying to break up the tissue with.
So
yeah. It hurts.
It hurts.
It
See?
sounds like he's saying you didn't do the other parts of his.
Hey,
how did the injury occur?
Oh, let's get to this story.
No. Can we not?
Because
he wanted to bring it up.
Because you was bringing up Vice Lord burgers.
Okay, so it was a random Saturday night on the west side of Chicago. The music.
Enough said.
The music was playing. We playing around, joking around, and somehow I jumped in the air and I came down on came down on my brother's foot. Shout out to my brother Chris. I landed on his foot and like my ankle was on the floor, but I was standing straight up. So I popped it back in place and was like, we got to go.
I popped it back in place.
Yes. And like,
did you see someone with a medical degree?
Oh yeah, I went. I went to a sports and medicine center after that, man. I had to unlace my Jordan like to the last shoestring to get my ankle out, and then it just exploded. It was like the size of a grapefruit.
Oh man!
And she said it was sprained on both sides, but I ain't gonna get into much of that because I know the ladies gonna be DMing like, could they massage me? And I'm past that part of my life. Y'all made me miss out on my point I wanted to make about coming back from injuries, man. Adrian Peterson. When I seen how he was training after he tore his ACL, man, like doing jump lunges and pools and all that, man, I was like, hey, man, I'm out here hustling. I'm out here hustling backwards.
He's a different human being, though. Like, you can't count him in any category of anything.
Like, what's the rest of the players' perception of him, especially after that season? Like, I know y'all was like, this is
Bro, we played him one time. He ran the ball. We were tackling him. I swear we moved another 5 yards and his feet weren't even on the ground. Like, like this dude is massive. Like, he's a baller.
Yeah. And then they say he had like races every year. Like he raced everybody in camp and like always wins or something crazy. Like I'll be reading articles like, who is this guy? Is he an Avenger?
It's certain players I look at and I be like, yo, like that dude scares me to look at him.
Yeah.
And he's one of them guys. I look at him like he looked like he just next level.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
bro, there's so many people. I remember it was what was that, my rookie year or my second year? I think it's my second year with the Patriots. And Randy Moss was there. We're in practice. I'm on the sideline. I'm looking. I see Randy running, and it looks like Randy's jogging. I'm like, why is he jogging? And then I look 2 yards behind him. I see the safety digging. Like he's running a 40, you know? And I'm like, oh, my God. This dude, it looks like somebody's in slow motion and somebody's in fast motion. Like he was fast forwarded behind him, but he was like those long strides were just eating up earth, boy. So it was like just stuff like that. You're like, oh my God, like these people are. How is it fair?
Yeah,
it's not fair.
We just talk about that in our group.
So quick question. We have this debate every year in our group meeting. Now, Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. Who's the greatest?
Who's the greatest? Man, two different players, two different eras.
Throw him on the spot. Good job. Good answer.
I can't.
Good answer.
Right. Can I just put one on one side, one on the other?
I got a question.
Two totally different players.
If you are the QB and you got to throw the ball to one of them to win the game,
3rd and 8.
3rd and 8.
Who is getting the ball?
3rd and 8. Well, it's Jerry Rice and Randy Moss. I can't win either. Whoever's open.
Jump ball to Randy. Let's go. Jump ball to Randy. Let's go.
Because like I was something like for past. I don't know if this has been like Randy Moss Appreciation Week on the internet, but like I've been reading like every article I read, everything has always mentioned. Man, once that hand go up, that hand is the most fearsome thing in football. Like they like the hand of God and Randy Moss hand. Two hands. Like,
man, to watch him in person, man, it's just crazy.
I couldn't imagine.
I mean, because in high school, you got mossed. Yeah. So now to actually see it in person is like ridiculous.
I don't care what sport you playing, it's a moss. Yeah. If you rob somebody of a home run, he mossed that. You get
you catch the outlet from Kevin Love. He mossed.
He mossed it. That's cold. Though.
So, man, the transition away from the game, the transition away into the business world. Man, I'm just looking here. And it looks like you got a nice portfolio. So you have amazing, where you are an angel investor. Tell us about that.
So stepping away from the game, man, it's you try to do as much as you can. At least for me individually, every off season while I was playing, they had these executive education programs you could do. At Harvard, at Wharton, at Northwestern. So I try to do one every year, and it would give me more of a taste for business and the next step, your next career afterwards. And basically, that's what kind of got me into business. And as as a ball player, man, somebody's always trying to hand you a business plan. I reinvented water, or I did this, I did that. And after a while, it was like, let me really look at this and see where somebody, do they actually have a good idea, or are they just trying to screw you over? So for me, coming out of the game, retiring, I was looking for something, to build. I think for me, life is about purpose. And, I feel like I've found a new passion for wanting to build something, for wanting to be a part of something. And, coming from a team atmosphere, that's what, I felt like what was longing for me. That was what I needed to do, just build something new now, because like that life is over. Like you're not gonna go pick up cleats and a helmet and go play anymore. Like what are you gonna do now? Now you have to reinvent yourself, and that's very hard for a lot of guys to transition out of. Right. I mean, you've been doing that for so long, and it becomes your identity. And so now you have to realize it's not who you are; it's what you did. And it may have gotten you very far, but now it's like it's over. Right. And there's no next level from there. It was like that's the pinnacle of it, and that's it.
Yeah, like people say, now is the first day of the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Man, okay. You guys, I know you guys got something. Fresh, you asked about Ballers. Like we don't want to go back, but you asked about Ballers. Yeah, so I get that question in, brother.
Yeah, like with Ballers, I know, like as a former NFL player, when you look at a show like that, do you say like, man, they hit it right on that? They hit the.
Well, Rashard Mendenhall is one of the writers for the show, so you're getting some great story. I mean, he's a good writer. He's a great writer, as well as actually the actual experience. So I think a lot of it is. I don't want to say this. It's very entertaining, Yes, if you guys remember that show, Playmakers?
Yeah, I remember that.
Where that was kind of ridiculous. Dude like goes and smokes crack at halftime and then shows up for the game. Like you wouldn't even be able to play in the game.
Yeah, too far.
But I love Ballers. I love the show. I think it's very entertaining. I think the way they're getting players involved into acting and the film industry as well. Like I think that's good, so
T-Sizzle.
I think it gives a little bit of reality, to things as well, so, is everything accurate? No, but, there's reality there of people kind of getting an inside look.
That's dope, though.
I think one thing I'm looking at something you said that I've always felt. You said players get a bad rap in terms of, just their financial awareness, things like that. Because I feel like a lot of times everybody loves to say, like, oh, so-and-so went broke, or this guy's having financial trouble. And I feel like a lot of times people just, in our minds, we see that, and your mindset is, well, so-and-so made such and such. You know, they see that net number. But now I feel like we should always be smart, because even like, you know, in every sport you hear about now, the expenses are through the roof. And it's just like, it's no different than you and I. We get our check and we look at our gross and we say, man, if I made this gross, I could
change some things.
And you hear about it, you know, and the guy will say, hey, I got a contract. I got this Josh Childress YouTube thing I love. He say, I got 4 years, $11 million. And then he was like, okay, so that's really 4 years, $5 million. And once I see that, I'm like, you know, in my mind, I'm like, Josh Childress is broke. Not like he's broke for real, but I'm like,
about standards.
Right, by what he was, you know, his contract is for. And when you take out everything, fees, taxes, and now he's 4 years, $5 million, I'm like, that's so different.
Yeah.
So I think just give us some background on that, because I think too, like, everybody loves to hear, like, you know, this guy made this much money and now he's in bad shape, but really it's so many circumstances to it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, and it speaks to society of how people want to hear that. You know, damn, someone went broke. I guess, you know, they might be a little jealous. You know, but it is what it is.
All the time.
But there's so many guys that are brilliant in the league, and so many guys that take care of their business, that, you know, you get that minority where, you know, guys do go through financial troubles, and, you know, it's going to be in the news, and it taints a lot of people. But, you know, there are a lot of different circumstances. People have been stolen from. You know, not everybody invests badly. You know, people have their family leaning on them, you know, and I've seen different situations where, I mean, they feel responsible for the whole family. You know, it's kind of like the emotional blackmail, like, well, you know, you're not going to take care of your family, you're not going to be there for us, you're not going to, you know, and that sucks, man. So for a lot of it isn't guys doing something necessarily wrong, but, you know, there you have a lot of guys who have a lifestyle. You know, and your lifestyle plan in Green Bay is a lot different than in New York and Miami. You know, and it can set you up to be great, you know, in a smaller market, you know, and being around the right veterans. But as far as handling your finances, for me, I drove a 02 Malibu. I bought it from my mom.
Right.
And I mean, if you can see me in the game, I don't need to drive a Benz, baby. It's me.
Right. Come on now. There we go. Talk.
Let's go.
You'd be surprised who rode in that 02 Malibu.
Hold on.
Hey, baby. Y'all can talk that 02 Malibu all y'all want. Man, please.
But again, you know, I was in markets where, you know, I didn't feel that pressure to do anything different. You know, so, you know, that was just different for me. But for me, I knew that I've worked so hard to get this opportunity. Don't waste it now.
True.
I thought about those days back at the plaza, you know, serving those ices and nachos and popcorn and candy. And, you know, I think that, you know, it takes so long to make money and you work so hard to make it, and it's so easy to spend it. So for me, it's just like, man, I wanted to save.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a hard temptation because you are young, you know, it's a new life, and, you know, that you feel that itch to stunt a little bit and do all that. But for me, you know, growing up in Chicago, I'm like, nah, you know, I don't really wear jewelry and I'm not flashy. So plus, you know, you make yourself a target. So for me, you know, I wanted to be low key and just make sure I was good for the future, man. Because, you know, nothing else is guaranteed in life at all, you know.
I'm thankful for brothers like you, because I keep saying, like, if somebody buys out the No Foreplay show, I'm going to get a Lamborghini Huracan as soon as I can.
Yeah, you know, I gotta live.
Sir, I don't know how to pronounce this word. Right there.
I know the numbers.
Right there.
I speak math. I speak math.
And I'm not even going to try to negotiate down. I just want to.
Oh, man.
MSRP.
I just give it to me. Here's the price on cars.com, sir. Just give me that right there.
I just want to piss people off, like do something like this, buy out Shy Tongue on a Friday night. When they got just piss them off.
See, and still gonna have some money. I'm gonna just be living in the Lamborghini
because you know me.
You brothers need to go listen to the new Jay-Z album.
Yeah, right? I'll be getting back to community. Like, no doubt, I'll bring us back to prominence. That'll be my goal. If I ever get money, that's my goal for real. I do want to bring the West Side back, with the Austin area per se.
You know what?
That's like, you know what? The West Side is changing rapidly. They buying up everything.
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are.
They are buying up everything.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what we have. Right, they do. We don't know what we have, but they do.
So I got another question. Being as though you're on that business side, as an investor, tell me what you look for in terms of investments, like where you're looking to go.
I think for me now that getting a little more mature into it, what I look for is a lot different than when I started off at. Like being in school too, like marrying all that real world experience with the textbook stuff. I probably wouldn't have invested in a few companies, knowing now, just because it would have taken some of my edge away. Okay. Being an entrepreneur is about taking risk. It's about trying to read people, and you're betting on that jockey, not the horse, because the ideas are cheap, but execution is very expensive. So for me, it was, what was the original question? I was just
Am
I answering right?
Yeah,
you got in your gym.
I had a thought, and it was like, wait a minute.
Because you started throwing gems. You started throwing gems. It was like quotes. Yeah.
I was saying, like, in terms of, like, where you're investing, like, what do you look for?
Okay, so what I'm looking for is, what have you done? What is your skin in the game? That's, first off, what is your skin in the game? What have you done? What have you done to build the business at this point? If you're just coming with an idea of, well, I got this idea, that's not enough. Why put money behind it if you haven't put money into it? Sure. If you haven't incorporated your company, if you haven't gotten the right certifications for it. So I want to get a company that's already been up and running and proving themselves at this point, because, you just need that push to get to the next level. And, there's nothing guaranteed of what's going to happen, and there's going to be bumps and bruises along the way. But it's just about, have you put the work in? Because if you haven't put the work in, then what's the point?
Yeah. I think that's one of the best things, because the things you look at now, everybody has an idea. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody has an idea. And now you look up and you say, your idea may be great. And I like that you said jockey and horse, because I just went to the racetrack for the first time, like the other day. And I'm sitting there.
You having a lot of new experiences.
Yeah, he was dressed the part too. You should have seen his outfit. He was dressed the part too.
Yes. And my coworkers are laughing at me because I'm sitting there and I'm combing through the Arlington racetrack book, and they're like, what are you looking at? And I said, well, I'm trying to learn how and where I'm going to bet. And they like, you just bet on the name. I said, that's not my style. I can't just bet on the name. No. So I'm literally looking through the book.
It's just because they don't know you.
Right. And they're just looking at me like, and I think that's the thing, because like I said, everybody has an idea. But when you start bringing the execution into play, you're looking at them, because people always say, in terms of a company, the person that's running it is essentially what you're investing in. Do you feel that?
Yeah, absolutely. Because if they're not willing to get up every day and have passion for what they're doing, and that intrinsic motivation, bro, it's a wrap. Because it gets hard. It gets very hard. It gets very difficult. And if you don't have that mental fortitude to push through every day, to when you get completely slapped in the face and someone tells you no and you get rejected, can you wake up the next morning and move? Mm-hmm. Can you wake up the next morning, hit that alarm, hit the ground running, and saying, what can I do to not hear no today? If you can't do that, don't jump into this arena. Like, being an entrepreneur is not, I think a lot of it is kind of the celebrity, like it's a fad to be an investor, and it's not, like, this isn't for the faint of heart. This isn't something to, like, brand yourself. Well, let me not say it's not something to brand yourself, but it's not something to, like, to do to be popular. True. True. This is finances. This is your time. Like, this is like
real life.
This can be a 24/7 type of thing, where you're gonna have to do a meeting late at night, or you're gonna have to do a phone call, if you're talking to someone across the ocean, like, you really have to put your all into this. And, there's never a guarantee of anything. You know, the only thing that's guaranteed is frustration sometimes. So, but you know, like you have to have the right people in place, and things change, and mentalities change, and your business plan changes. So you need somebody that's flexible. And quite honestly, you don't necessarily know, you know, when you're first meeting somebody, how they're going to react to certain situation. You know, when the fire hits, man, you see all types of people's characters come out, man.
Yes. Oh, yes. But that reminds me of my guy. I ain't going to say his name. But he's an entrepreneur. I ain't gonna say he's my guy, but a guy I met. But he's an entrepreneur, and he like gave up drinking like instantly. He like, once I became an entrepreneur, I had to give up drinking. I'm like, what? He's like, because you never know. What if someone calls me at 1 o'clock in the morning and wants a meeting, and I'm not in my right mind because I've been going off the Hennessy all day? So he's like, no more drinking. He had to be at, you know, full capacity at all times. And I'm like, wow, I'm proud of you, brother. Fight on.
I got a quick question. What's the worst / craziest idea someone has brought to you?
There's
that you can speak on, of course.
That I can speak on. You know what? It's gonna be hard because there's so many ideas in my head. You know, I'll have to sit down, you know, and think that through. Okay. You know, unfortunately, I wish I had it ready for you right now.
It's fine. It's fine. Cause I know you've been like you said, athletes are presented with like just like weird and crazy stuff like all the time. I think
it's been. See, it won't be as funny because you don't have the pictures of people like clothing lines.
Oh no!
Oh my god!
Portable hot combs. Portable hot combs. Yeah, I got this idea for portable hot combs. Uncle Leroy Jr. Uncle Leroy Jr. If you don't get away from me,
I got this towel raincoat, brother.
Yeah. Uncle Leroy Jr. Go sit your drunk.
But you know what? It's only crazy until it works.
That's true,
and that's you just never know. You know, you look at Uber and Airbnb and all these places. Like you have essentially a hotel company that owns no real estate.
Right.
You have a transportation company that owns no transportation. Yeah. You know, that's next level thinking, but it's something that's always existed. They just added a little wrinkle to it.
Right, like Mr. Carvin is Peanut.
You know what I always tell people? Like,
yes, the Peanut.
It's just like how we get in debates a lot about athletic companies and you know, a lot of times like Nike. And I always tell them, I always be like, listen, I understand we love Nike, right? But I always say this. We've seen the major people in the industry not exist. Right. Like every video chain we done looked at, whether it was Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, they're gone now.
You know, Sears.
Right. You know, Sears, JCPenney, everybody's like, people that you would have never thought as a kid exist, they're gone. Yeah. You know, in 20 years, the mall is going to be
absolutely. And I'm sure our grandparents thought Montgomery Ward was going to last forever.
Right.
I know if Lil Debbie quarter case keep going up.
Oh my God, Fuzz Brown's. Me and Fuzz Brown about this close to a divorce. So this close.
You know, it's interesting how business is constantly changing, being disrupted, and you know, I feel like it's phenomenal in our lifetime, the changes that we're seeing, you know, because it happens in every lifetime. So as much as we say this company's going to be here, it's a staple.
Yeah.
It's not guaranteed.
But yeah, businesses and society. And I mean, you look at like everyone, all these silly little articles every day about millennials. Millennials are bad for this and millennials are bad for that. I mean, you have a generation that kind of looks at things and like, why are y'all still doing that? You know, why y'all, you know, it's like the foresight to see that. Like, why are you still doing this like this?
Right.
You know, and it's just like, well, you know, it's the way we always done it. And that's a very dangerous statement. This is the way we've always done it. You know,
that's right.
Not to get too deep, but you know, like, you know, I'm not even gonna talk about that.
But no, that's just like letting someone be their fault because they always been at fault. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's just him being him. No, that don't make it right because he's been doing it for 20 years. It's still wrong. You know what I mean?
And when you look at a lot of the stuff that you know, quote unquote, we're still millennials. When you look at the stuff that's happening, and a lot of the stuff that we question, that we started questioning when we were younger, like it makes sense. Like when we look up and we say, why everybody buying cars? Why are you doing that? Like, wait, we live right in the city. I got everything in my neighborhood. Why am I going to pay hundreds of dollars a month for something that's I don't necessarily need, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you look at a lot of things just we question and we're changing. And the businesses in place that like everybody needs a car, they low-key pissed. They low-key like, wait a minute. Like, they disrupting us.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we're supposed to do. Like that. Like
I mean, it's evolution at its finest. You know, it sucks if you're the one who can't adapt and adjust, you know.
Life is always about that adjustment.
Always.
It's always about the adjustment. Corey, as we wrap up,
yes.
I always got
it
two
ends.
things I do.
It ends.
I'm having too much fun.
Yeah.
But if you want this to be like clean, that has to end soon. Like me and Fresh, I beat her. It gets worse.
Yeah, because when he said wrap it up,
I've listened.
Yeah. Because when he said wrap it up, I have no clue what that means.
You know what's fun? I normally do a guy of the week that rubbed me the wrong way. I won't do that this week because this guy was gonna get it. You know, so yeah. So we won't worry about that. But I do have an event of the week.
Okay.
I do have an event of the week. So this is the week. This episode is August 9th.
Yes.
So here's my event. So you guys got an event, let us know. Here's my event. It's a little. So I had so much fun, right, at the racetrack. Racetrack is really like a kicking it spot, like you kick it. So August 12th, Arlington Race Course, they have the Arlington Million, right? So the Arlington Million. I say go. I believe it's $30 for adults, $4 for kids. I say just go, man. Just go put on some fly clothes. Some people just dress like whatever. They got best dressed. They got good food. Place a bet on the horse. So that horse is 12-1 running. Like, you know, just kick it, man. It's a good time. Like it's kind of funny because everybody, it's like a weird mix of people.
Yeah.
But the conversations that you'll have at the race course are very entertaining, to say the least. And yeah, it's just when they bring the horses out and all this stuff, I felt like I was in what's that Will Smith movie, Focus?
Yeah.
Like, I felt like I was in Focus.
Oh, he was pulling it.
Yeah, and like I said, I looked at that picture of Wes Welker at the racetrack at least 6 times. I was like, man, I want to win some money so I can walk around with him handing out hundreds.
Yeah, because, man.
Nothing like wearing seersucking or something.
Man, hey, we was at Tavern on Rush. We was on Tavern on Rush, and it was the same day, I think, of like the Preakness or the Derby. No, it was the Derby. It was the actual Derby. And you know, everybody always overdressed. They had the big hats. Everybody in there with suits. Yeah. They had guys in there. I guess they were all like friends from like Dartmouth, and they had their own table. It was crazy. So they was ordering all kind of drinks, but didn't drink. I was like, this is just stunning. This is just stunning at the finest. They don't drink no kind of alcohol, but they ordering all kind of drinks. Oh yeah, I got to change my life. But if this was a horse racing dude, I was like, man, it was lit though. They were, I want that guy because the horse name's Lucky Green and my grandfather's a quarter Irish.
Maybe we'll take a trip to the Derby soon.
That'd be dope if we ever go to the Kentucky Derby.
Can we do that next year?
I think
if you asking, we going.
Yeah, yes.
Let's orchestrate this hit.
Right. Yeah. Let me break out my piggy bank.
And the dudes did have their hats on. I felt like I'm so happy I wore my hat because I was like, if I didn't wear my hat, I would feel out of place. Yeah. So let's do it.
Also on August 12th, we
also
on August 12th.
To be fair,
after you go to the whatever
the
Arlington, after you do the millions in your nice clothes, go back home and put on your ratchet outfits,
the rompers,
the one pieces, the jumpsuits, if you will.
I like basic colors. I don't need all the Fruitopia looking floral joints.
Fruitopia.
Solid colors.
No,
I don't think so.
He don't like basic colors in the hair though, because Fresh is a West Side.
Yes, give me a blonde.
We have the Q is what we call it these days.
Yes,
it's coming.
Yes.
Your girlfriend's favorite barbecue. Tell grandma to watch the kids. We out there from 4 p.m. until 2 or the police stoppage, whichever comes last.
Hey, ladies, do not bring sand to the beach. because your beach is not better.
It's not.
Oh man!
And also,
that was not a shot.
For all who have watched What the Health, whatever other health documentaries.
Wait a minute,
we gonna get to that.
I'm bad. My bad.
We gonna get to that.
Just know there would be no vegan options here, and we'll just leave it at that.
Man, y'all know I gotta sneak my chicken hot links on the grill, so that's barely turkey and chicken substitute. So y'all want vegan products? Oh no, they ain't gonna have that.
There'll be no asparagus on the grill. Sorry to disappoint anyone,
Elliot.
You know what?
That's all I have.
Corey, thank you so much for coming, man.
Yes.
Do you got any parting words for our guests? Any parting words? Any gems? Because you dropped some gems. Any parting gem?
I guess I would say don't buy a Lamborghini without negotiating.
Okay.
That's fair.
Understandable.
And also, man, I think the biggest thing we can do for our community, not to get on a soapbox, is just financial literacy. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we have so much at our disposal as far as books, as far as the internet. Just learn a little a day, and that's one of the things I did. I didn't speak on that. Was I didn't jump in and get a financial advisor when I was playing. I wanted to kind of understand just a little bit about what I was doing and what the terminology meant. So just take your time. But every day, if you can learn something new, just do that.
Yeah, I think I plan on following it. I got a young cousin who just graduated high school, got his first job. So he's working, and he already stingy with his money, but I'm definitely gonna go ahead and give him the Dave Ramsey book that I just read at 30 something, and hit him with that and say, "You read this book,
man,
and you write me a paper on it. I'm giving you $200." And I know as much as he like money, he gonna have this done. And I'm like, I'm not playing with you because I'm like, yo, I need you to know
that is a lucrative book report.
Yes.
Hey, you got any books you need me to read, brother?
Hey man, I just need him to know at 18. I need him to learn from my mistakes.
True.
I want him to know at 18 to have some understanding, because I feel like if we give those kids that's like that age, that's coming into their own, that knowledge, then we'll be better.
Yeah, that's one thing we touched on. We was in when I went to Black Alumni, we was in Carbondale, and we was like, man, we probably have more money at 19 and 20 than we do now. And we like, we could have just been buying lots out here, and they building all this stuff. If we just bought them lots that was like $1,500, how much money could we get back on the return?
I'm not gonna lie to you. I came across some money at that age that I would love to come across now. And it was pure liquid money.
Yeah, exactly.
And I went home and I had nothing left.
Nothing.
Save your Pele money. Buy some lots on the west side.
On the west side of Chicago.
Save the Cameron earring money,
please. Please
save your Astrovan money.
Man, look.
You don't need 12-inch speakers
I gotta
in
take
the
a
van.
shot. I gotta take a shot. I gotta say the name of the company and everything. West side of Chicago. Let's take a 3-month hiatus from Treasures. Just 3 months. Just 3 months.
Show now.
You know what?
On that note,
no foreplay. We out.
No foreplay.
Burn it.
I'm gonna say the name of the store.
Hey, listen.